but you're seeing those things done here on a day-to-day basis. And I'm saying that to you as a parent and a teacher. Seeing the involvement from support services to the teachers and all these key players involved and committed to your child.
How do you guys seeing it work for where you're working in your settings? Does anyone want to share?
I have go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
On seeing the video, what I understood was true transformation takes place when it comes from source, not by force. So than the authorities or the directors telling a teacher, take control of your student, be patient with him, this model, when it makes us understand that we take complete responsibility in changing and nurturing the child's behavior, so that comes from source. So I think that becomes a core concept for us to follow.
That is so beautiful. That
I
is
love
well
that.
stated.
Source, not by force.
Yes,
Pretty
that is
fantastic.
so true. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Penny, you were going to say something?
I have a little girl right now that I'm at the top of the pyramid with, and so I think Kara really directed me in the right place with this, because just immediately I was thinking, when they were talking about being respectful and safe and being a team, and I'm respectful to her, we're safe, but we're not a team. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm just sitting here thinking, wow, right away, it just...
Yeah. It really kind of makes you think, trigger something.
Yeah. And then I seen a video of Janet.
I know.
I'm like, oh, Janet, I love you.
Oh, yes, Miss Janet.
Oh, gosh, I love that woman.
I just saw her not too long ago, too. She's doing really good.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Yeah.
She's such a beautiful, beautiful person.
She is, definitely.
Anyway, so it hit me. I thought, oh my goodness, another team for that little baby. She's a 3-year-old.
Yeah. But now you can be.
Now I will tomorrow.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful.
I was just thinking how much this bounces off or coincides with the EQ class. I took that last year. It's relationships, responsive care. That's
So true.
the base, is that relationship that we have with all of the kids.
Definitely. And if you make yourself that pivotal person, maybe they don't have anyone else. Maybe you're that one nurturing relationship that they're going to see their entire day.
And that they trust you and you.
I think it's really important that you take that time with that child, and it's not just redirecting that child, it's helping that child understand what their emotions are. And I see it's really, really valuable for the kids at such a young age for them to be able to say, I'm frustrated, and why, and explore that with them. Because there's always going to be situations where they're going to be frustrated or angry. We're glad that they're happy, but we want them to be able to work through those times when, the stress level is high and they're frustrated
the time is when they're little, because as they get bigger, even as adults, yes.
I have one that is he has behavior problems. He likes to hit everybody. As soon as he gets on his, I'm gonna hit everybody, we start singing high fives and hugs, and we do a round of high fives and hugs, and it changes that immediately.
Just totally takes them off that path.
He's
Yeah?
like, okay, high five and hugs.
I love it. That's great. Well, I'm excited too to really dive into these strategies as we get further up the model and really look at that. So I think as Amber, I know Amber does lots of pyramid at home with her kids as well as
Absolutely.
other settings, and so it can work in any setting. I think it's so important for parents to know as well. I got to remind myself too of some of these little things too as I work with my children during the day.
Well, and I think that's a big thing too, is just whatever setting that may be, within our household, from picture cues to setting up the environment, because a lot of frustration or, behavior can be established just based off of I don't know what's going to happen next, or I don't know what's going on, or, and it's just avoiding even getting to that point because of the way we've set up the environment. So, it does start at that bottom. And sometimes when something's happening, I do have to reassess what's going on, what's happening right now within the environment that we are now at this level. So it's definitely looking at everything else first for the child.
Exactly. It's that positive culture, that every person, here as you go out, and that even if it's a smaller setting or a bigger one, that you're influencing the culture of the school or the education setting and creating that positivity, creating that as a problem solving. I think that's really important too, that we can give emphasis for that.
Definitely, right? And that goes to that buy-in piece, and not only having the teachers on board, you guys on board, but having those parents on board, because they're going to make a big difference. If everyone's on the same page, wow, the effect we could have on those kids is amazing. So these are some of the evidence-based models that the Pyramid Plus approach put into their pyramid model. So Special Quest, Birth to 5, Building Blocks, and Leap, and then PTRYC. So I'll give you a kind of brief rendition of these, but Brooke's going to go over it in session 2 as well. So the first one is Special Quest, and basically it was a model through Head Start, and basically it was a leadership training. So it was essentially kind of that bottom portion of the pyramid. The next one's Building Blocks. And so Building Blocks was a training for all kids. It was actually started for school-age children, but then they soon discovered that research was showing it was great for preschool children and all children, really. So, again, that was referenced to Head Start. And then LEAP was a program based for children with autism. So they developed this program, and the strategies really worked, again, for everybody. Research has shown that, so that's why they included a lot of these strategies. And this is a systematic approach for positive behavior that is shown to be effective for children. So we're really trying to look at all that collaboration piece, pulling the parents in, all the people that work with that one child, and really kind of getting down to the bottom of why this behavior is happening and how are we going to reinforce it with a new behavior. And so this is kind of where these entities fit. So Special Quest kind of down here at the bottom. Building Blocks and LEAP, we're going to get into more of those preventative strategies. And then that PTRYC and some of those LEAP strategies are going to be at more at the top. So that's kind of where they fit in. This is just a quick example of how they're different. So this is the pyramid modules. That's what was originally made by Supples and Taxi. And then when Pyramid Plus approach came, they took the pyramid model and they added in those strategies, and that's how they're different. And this is also on your handout as well. So going through, this is what we're going to be learning, and again, there's handouts on this as well. The first 3, we're going to really focus on that effective workforce, and then we're going to really focus in on all of these awesome promotion strategies. So how are we going to teach all this stuff to kids? So this is really getting into that fun stuff. And then we're going to do a little bit more stuff that kind of falls on the bottom, and then we're going to go down to here to intentional planning, teaching social skills and learning skills, really teaching kids what we can do. And then the top, so what do we do for that, those kids that need that little bit of extra support? Then again, these are the same sessions 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, that all deal with that middle tier. I'm not going to get too much into this, but this is just kind of a taste. We're going to be getting into this quite a bit more. But it's kind of nice to look at now and kind of decide like where your program might be, where you might be. But I'll just give you an example of the first one. If you don't have a vision, but you have the skills, the incentives, the resources, the action plan, it's going to create confusion without that vision. So it's kind of nice to kind of take a look at that and see where you're at, what pieces you think you have, and what you might need to get a plan going. And then this big universal promotion, that blue tier. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So giving that supportive environment, while it's on the environment, the relationship piece, and partnering with families, which is really key. Oh, and when you go back, we're going to do a quick video. Sorry, Brooke. My little icon is tiny on that one. So this video is almost 3 minutes long, and it's by Rosemary Allen. She was the director of Division of Child Care at Colorado Department of Human Services. She is a really big reason why the center was started. But now she's actually the director of program services for youth corrections. She has got so much knowledge. She's a really great resource, and so she's just going to speak a little bit on this.
The pyramid model helps our caregivers address positive social emotional behaviors and development simply because it teaches us who children are and what to expect and what their needs are. So when you know overall child development and what to expect at different developmental ages, then you don't take it personally. You know that when you call an 18-month-old, they're going to run in the opposite direction. So you know that 18-month-old is not running away from you because they're being disrespectful or obstinate. They're running away because that's their job. The same with a 2-year-old. When they say no, it's their job to say no. So if you know what to expect, then you know how to prepare. And when you look at that first level of the pyramid model, when it talks about interactions and then environment, interactions is everything. It's everything. As adults, we know when we're being judged, and we know when people don't like us. What makes us think it's any different with children? And I think children are even more aware because they don't have the filters that we have in order to really kind of gauge it. So the pyramid model, from the very beginning, it teaches us about ourselves. I honestly believe that the key to addressing challenging behaviors is addressing our own. It's really not what the children are doing, because children will be children. When children get upset, they hit, bite, kick, scratch. And unfortunately, when adults get upset, they do the same thing. So the key is our response to it. It's managing our own behaviors. Because children have an excuse. They've only been on the planet a little while. Maybe 2 years on the planet. The first year is just self-aware. But after we've been here for 51 years, that I should know how to manage my own behaviors, which is really the key in helping children to manage theirs. I love the first part of the pyramid when it talks about the hot buttons, because what may seem like negative behavior to one teacher may be perfectly okay to another, and it's our own experiences that causes us to label behaviors. And what the pyramid model does, it helps us to get in touch with our own hot buttons. It helps us to really look at our own interactions, and then to build positive interactions for the children, while at the same time building an environment, developing an environment that's safe and wonderful, and that's just, you know what it is? We build an environment that screams out to children, this is all for you. This is your place and you're safe here.
She says it so
The
beautifully.
pyramid model.
Oh, you're fine. She says it so beautifully what I can't say in those 3 minutes. She's just such a wealth of knowledge. But it's so true. I think that's what's so beautiful about it, is that you do learn about yourself. Is my Gus stubborn? Well, usually when I feel like he's being stubborn is when I have not allowed myself that 10 extra minutes to get out the door. Because when you give Gus a direction, he needs a little bit extra time to kind of really make sure your feelings get heard, or that I know he knows what he's supposed to be doing. Gus, get your shoes on, get your shoes on, get your shoes on. And he's like, whoa, I just need 3 times. I'm still kind of thinking about it. Give me a second. So really kind of looking at yourself and saying like, okay, what could I have done differently to help him? And that is, it's spot on. Kids know when you're being sarcastic. They know when you're lying. Are you frustrated? No, I'm not frustrated. Like, okay. Your body's telling me something else. So they know when we're lying. They know that. And so it's really being perceptive to yourself. So I think that makes a really big difference. Does anyone want to say anything about the video? Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. So this is kind of a sneak peek to session 5, but human relationships and the effects of relationships on relationships are the building blocks of healthy development. And it's so true. I mean, if we have all those nurturing relationships in place for a child, we're going to have a different kiddo, that's for sure. So then again, we're going to be talking about this, but talking about how we can make children feel more connected with each other, their environment, and what to do when we do have a child that's disconnected. Hot buttons, as Rosemary Allen was saying. We're going to really kind of think about that. I mean, off the top of your head, you might come up with some, but as you really think about it, something you might not even knew was your hot button might be your hot button. You know, teaching preschool, I would always say like spitting, and that was probably my hot button. But now as a mom, I've kind of figured out maybe that's not it. Maybe it's something different. So it's kind of nice to know that going in before you're in the red zone with that kid. So we're going to talk a lot about that. If there's anything that we wish to change in the child, we should first examine it and see whether it's not something that could be better be changed ourselves. And it's true. My time management skills, getting out that door with that kid, it's terrible. I have to work on that. I have to work on that. And if I work on that, Gus is going to have a better day. Gus won't be that stubborn kid. Every child needs one person who's crazy about him. And the hard part is sometimes we don't know if that kid has one person that's crazy about him. Maybe him and mom, they fight a lot, or maybe that kiddo doesn't have someone in their life that is just absolutely nuts about them. So if you could be that one person, again, we're gonna change the world. So then again, targeted prevention, the green tier. So intentional planning, so how we're gonna make sure we're teaching those social skills, how we're gonna embed those learning opportunities into our daily routine and making sure they're interacting with each other. Emotional literacy and competence, we've already said how important that is, supporting early development and self-regulation to conflict resolution. And even we can benefit from some of these strategies as adults as well. Because I know with my husband, I get a little frustrated very easily, so it happens. When we first did the training, I thought this was the most powerful thing I've ever heard. If a child doesn't know how to read, we're going to teach them. And if a child doesn't know how to swim, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to multiply, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to drive, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to behave, do we teach or do we punish? The most often we punish. As parents that are not in the early education field and that don't know this stuff, they might punish. That just might be what happens. And so if we can help show them that just like we're going to teach your kid how to read, we have to teach them how to interact. We have to teach them how to self-regulate. It's the one more step that we have to teach. And a lot of parents, it's an aha moment for them. It really does. It changes that. Well, another thing we're going to do is we're going to identify teachable moments. We're going to help give you guys strategies that really look more like this. And again, looking at myself as a mom, when right here, everything's going good, might be getting upset, great teachable moment here. Okay, here we go. Gus is getting upset. He's going to throw a tantrum. And next thing you know, he's in the red. And what do we usually do there? He's lying on the floor screaming, and my thing is talking at that poor kid. Get up, Gus. Come on, Gus. We have to go. And I'm in his face. Is he hearing anything I'm saying? No, he's pissed off at the world, and he is not hearing a thing I'm saying. And I am just talking, and it's making me madder, and I'm getting in the red zone. So really looking at that, and how do we get him out of that red zone, and how do we get him back down here? In that teachable moment when I can help him, when I can get him back to a place, and then we can talk about it. Then we can talk about it. But so often, go to Target, you'll probably see one right now. It's the witching hour there. You're going to see a kid in that cart freaking out, and that mom's going to be all over him. So really figuring out those teachable moments. So creating planned social opportunities in the classroom. Have the kids pass out the materials. Have them give a stamp out at the end of the day. Have them pass the forks and cups out. Take that off of you. Let them do that. It'll give them that social interaction piece. It's great. It works so beautifully. Brooke and Molly do this in their class all the time. They have a pillow helper. They stand there, and the kids have to come out and tap their shoulder, and they have to say what color pillow they want, and they give their friend the pillow. And then it's great because conflict resolution comes in. They all want the brown pillow every year. We don't know why brown is so popular, but they all want that brown pillow. They're all fighting over it, but then they have to figure out how can I trade? Or maybe today I just sit in a different one. Oh, I'm being flexible. You're being flexible, high five. So really figuring out where are we going to put those into our daily routines to make sure that those embedded learning opportunities are there. So the importance of friendship. The single best childhood predictor of adult social adaptation is not school grades or classroom behavior, but rather how well a child gets along with other children. Yeah, and even in the workplace as adults. How well are you going to get along? Because we all know there's going to be a coworker that's going to frustrate you. How do you manage them? How are you going to get through the day with them?
And you hold daycare.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. But even then, you got to manage your tough one, right? I know. I love it. Children with a strong foundation in emotional literacy, they tolerate frustration better. They get into fewer fights, engage in less self-destructive behavior, healthier, feel less lonely or less impulsive, more focused, and have greater academic achievement. I mean, if you, as a little guy, had that practice to really say, I am frustrated and this is what I can do, or I'm upset, and really be able to talk about that, what a great world. They're going to have so much practice. Because even now as adults, I know in some of my own relationships, I have a hard time saying, you know what, you did kind of frustrate me, and I think this is what we could do differently. You know, the kids never have a problem. Got my son Gus again. He told me that I annihilated his plan the other day. Hey, so yes, annihilated. Yes. And his first goal here at Val Swan was let's speak a little loud and proud. Miss Kay on the TV, she was his teacher for 2 years, and she's like, does he talk? And he does say some words. He's just really quiet. He's got a very deep voice. He's going to be like that. Everybody loves Raymond Brother. I swear that's going to be him. Yes, very deep voice. So then we're going to get into that intervention intense piece. Overview for creating a behavior support plan. What does that look like? What do we need to do? Understanding the function of the behavior is so important because we all know behavior is telling us something. And how do we develop that plan and monitor the strategies through data and with family members and making sure that they're going to work. So form of behavior, function behavior in this tier. So we're going to really determine the function and then positive behavior support plan. Because if we're going to take away a negative behavior, we have to replace it with a different behavior. Molly and I had a little girl in class and she was screaming and freaking out, and so then we decided with her parent support that they wanted her to stomp her foot instead. So sure enough, a few times by the end we got her to do it a little bit, but she's like, I'm so mad! And we're like, there we go, perfect, one for you, you got it. So rather than screaming, so really trying to figure that piece out. So some of the key points that we kind of went over, the developmental continuum perspective ensures unique needs of infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. So the old model, they had two kind of separate entities, and one was based for infants and toddlers, and the other one was for preschoolers. So now we kind of know it's on a continuum, because it's important to know where a child's at and kind of what they're doing, because we all know what 1 2-year-old is not going to be doing the same as a 3-year-old. So really understanding that, you know, my expectation for the, like she said, that baby, we know they're going to run away from you, but is that the same expectation for a 4 or 5-year-old? Probably not. They should probably know to stay with you. So really kind of knowing what is appropriate. Are expectations too high? Let's see here. Yeah, so like I said, the link between them is important too, especially if you've got some of those kiddos with special needs. Maybe they are going to be more on that toddler skill side than they are on that preschool side. So major messages, it's a state-funded non-profit organization at the University of Colorado at Denver. The focus of the work is statewide and scale up sustainability of promoting social emotional competence and addressing challenging behaviors and inclusion through evidence-based practices. That is the most important part, that evidence-based practices. Pyramid Plus approach training includes the content and framework of the pyramid model modules, the first original ones that they made, and embedded other evidence-based practices to support inclusion. And that's where that building blocks and leads and all that comes into place. So now we're going to do a little self-reflection. So if you guys want to pull up handout 1.17, that's your thought seeds. So you're going to be doing this after every session. Some people make a book out of them, and it's kind of nice to kind of go back and reflect. Or you could just do this one and keep it in the back of your notebook. But I want you to kind of maybe start thinking about, so there's some questions up here, but how might you use something that we went over tonight? I know you guys really haven't gotten strategies yet in session 1. What would you like to learn more about? So kind of just think about some of that stuff, and I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes so you can write, and I won't make you share. This is just for your own self-reflection. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question,
Yeah.
but it's way back at the beginning.
Okay.
You said that someone from the outside can come to Val Swan and sit in a classroom with the teacher and watch.
Yeah, so if you ever want to do a tour at Val Swan, since we're demonstrations, we're all about showing people how it works. And so we can definitely set that up for you. if you'd
So
like to.
I can just call up and say, hey, I have this Friday off and I would like to come in and
Yeah.
sit in a classroom.
We could totally do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do it.
And if you guys finish your thoughtsies before we finish this first session, Vanessa and I made a little trivia question about expulsion. So I put it on the table right there. A few of you put it in, but if you want to take a guess at it, we have a little prize for the person who we draw out the closest names.
Glad you remembered that. So that way we can strive to do better for you guys. All right, so does it, what worked? Anyone?
As far as.
Yeah, this one session,
Class?
yes, correct, yeah.
Was a good overview of kind of where we'll get in the next several weeks.
Thanks.
That was a lot of information.
Lots of information.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a real visual learner, so I'm going back trying to see the red print, you know, everything else, but, it's a lot for me to draw in.
Do you want bigger slides, Annie? We could do bigger, but you're just not a visual learner, you said.
No, I am a visual
Well,
learner.
you are
It just
visual.
takes time to kind of go
It
through it and let
does.
it sink in.
It does, it takes time to,
It's a lot of information.
Yeah.
to really digest that.
We could put that onto a group, lots of information.
Good information, just
Yeah.
not enough
Right.
time to
Yeah.
get it in there.
Yeah. Anyone else?
That video was well done.